I mean, we're doing it for the right motive, I believe. But I mean, we're doing it because we want to see God's work advance. But Ellen White has told us what to do. We just don't do it. She says Christ's method alone will bring true success in reaching the people. We'll have a measure of success using other methods, but his method is the only one that will bring true success. And that is, he mingled among men as one who desired their good. He ministered to their needs, won their confidence. Only then did he invite them to follow him. But we invite them to follow him without doing all that other first. And we wonder why people don't stay.
Yeah, we don't have the personal compassion.
No, we don't have the personal involvement in people's lives. It's more of a routine or a method rather than it is a ministry.
Yeah.
We've lost our mission and ministry focus by and large as a church, and we've become institutional in our focus, maintenance and institutional. Now, that doesn't mean that an institution's not valuable, but it's only valuable if it significantly contributes toward fulfilling the commission, our mission that we've been given. If it doesn't, we don't have time for it.
Yeah, and how you pointed out, we're feeding the buildings is what we're doing.
And all that stuff, I mean, it's just there's not enough resources to do that and everything else that needs to be done. We need to reprioritize and think about what is the most important and focus on that. Because there's not enough resources to do everything we might want to do. But I believe, when White points out to us that God has placed within the hands of his people the resources necessary to fulfill our mission. It's in our hands, but we're holding on to it.
Okay, the resources.
So God has placed within the hands of his people. I'm putting it in my own words, but this is the concept. He's placed within the hands of his people what is necessary, the resources necessary to complete his work. But we're holding on to them, you see. We've invested in material things, in the things of this world, instead of putting it where it really needs to be. I think it's time we just rethink that whole picture. Because it's late. I really believe, Retta, that if God had not done something, we would have seen an economic collapse. We were headed to an economic collapse, the way that everything was just falling apart in our economy, within the past year here.
Okay.
But I believe that God's given us a little window of opportunity. Because had we seen an economic collapse in this country, it would have been global.
Yeah.
The whole world would have fallen. The whole economy of the world would have fallen, would have collapsed. Then it would have been very difficult to do what he's called us to do. But God's given us a little grace period, I think. Because eventually it will collapse. I think before Jesus comes, we're going to see global economic meltdown. We can't keep living on plastic money or in artificial terms, and beyond our means forever without having to pay account one day.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a meltdown eventually. But we have this little window. Now's the time to do what we've been called to do. He's given us that little window. I believe that. And it's no time to waste.
And your method is training the young people to go out and witness and giving them the supplies that they need for that purpose.
Yes, because there's no use to train them if we don't give them resources.
Right, like Bibles.
Yeah, Bibles.
And bicycles.
Simple resources. We have picture rolls. I got over 400 picture rolls donated, new picture rolls that we'll be sending over, and bicycle ministers and others can take these out and do witnessing, tell the story of Jesus and tell the story of Scripture. Beautiful picture rolls. There's just all kinds of resources that are sitting in our churches, sitting on our shelves, not being utilized. I mean, you can only read so many books. And once they're read, why not put them to use for somebody else to read if they're worth reading? But instead, no, we have all this stuff. We have one church in Florida that donated the whole library that's going to Africa. Most everything. I mean, the lady down there sorted it and packaged it up. But why have these things if we're not using them anymore? Nowadays, videos have gone out, basically. Now it's DVD,
Oh, so we could donate all our videos and they'd
videos,
appreciate
you see, could be used Or even DVDs, if you've watched them,
Yeah.
how many times are you going to watch them unless it's something you just really enjoy, the nature pictures or something, Why not put them into use where they can be touching other lives? I think it's time to kind of begin to prepare to get out of here.
Yeah.
Are we going to be here forever? Are we planning to be here forever? Or are we planning to get out of here? And our lifestyle indicates what direction we're moving, I think. How we prioritize. So well, I'm excited about what God's doing. I think He's ready to do His final work, and He wants to use us in the process, each of us, to be a part of that. Everyone is an important part in that power, important link in that chain. And you can touch some lives that I'll never touch.
Yeah,
every one of us has a significant role, very significant. Because the value of every soul is beyond calculation. You can't calculate the value of one soul, one individual that Jesus died for, because He would have left heaven and died for one. So that puts inestimable value on every human soul.
Right.
And there are billions that still need to know He loves them. Billions. We're looking at a map today at the missions prayer time we had over at Roma, at Norfolk, at the Missions Memorial there. And, there's just all kinds of red dots where those people groups that need to be reached with God's message of salvation. All kinds of them. Africa's bunches of them. India's full of them. Of course, China and the Far East, North Korea is all red, basically. We would be all needy because they're communists,
Yeah.
But God's going to open those doors because He's not coming before everybody on this planet has an opportunity to make an intelligent decision for or against eternity. He's not coming till that happens because He died for all. And He's going to give that opportunity to all. And we can either have the joy of helping to share that message, or we can be sitting around.
Anyway, you are seeing that opportunity opening up, I can tell. That's what I'm noticing. And
do it.
You are you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see the opportunity, and
it's so exciting. Ellen White in the book Education. If you don't have that book, you need to buy that book. It's a wonderful book. She talks about how that we are to be like the hands and the voice of the angels. I picture it like this, that they're wringing their hands, waiting for somebody to work through. The angels are just waiting. And she talks about how that when we cooperate with the angels, we have the benefit of their education.
We do?
Which is thousands of years, right?
Okay.
She says, what university course could equal this?
And that's in education.
Yeah, in the book Education.
Okay.
But powerful information there. And so, if we will allow ourselves to be used, the angels are just anxious to speak through us and to work through our hands. Angels are waiting to work through us. Waiting, because that's the way that God's worked it out. He could use angels without us, but we need to be involved in the process.
Yeah, in order to be part of it.
If we're going to be saved. Because unless our hearts begin to beat in unison with the heart of Christ for the lost, the kind of compassion He has for the lost, we're not fit for the kingdom. We've just been making problems getting there. We've got to be converted and have a passion for the lost, like Jesus did, in order to share His kingdom. Otherwise, we disqualify ourselves. This is serious. It's not a game. It's serious business. It's eternal consequences. All this has to do with eternal consequences. So, pray that God will somehow touch hearts. and will encourage people to reprioritize how we do all of our, how we live our lives, and how we invest all of our energies and resources. So you guys are